Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's Sunday. I'm a week older than I was last Sunday, and it looks that way. Hey, everybody. I got my night guard in because my teeth are moving. Saturn is going through Pisces. Saturn rules teeth. Welcome, everybody. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm having a moment as I start. What is going on with my hair? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? I see one person in the room. I think that might be small wildflowers. Okay, here we go. I'm going to be serious now. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I am an intuitive astrologer, and I'm here every Sunday live from 11 to about 12:30, where we do live readings and we talk about the transits coming ahead. Welcome, Mikey. Hi, small wildflowers. I have my night guard in, so if I sound a little funny, we'll get used to it. Okay, a couple things. Last Monday, we did a live for a couple hours, and we did readings focused just on you, meaning me and all my personalities. And it was a huge success, I think. Everybody enjoyed themselves. So I'm going to do this again. But I decided I'm going to do it on the moon cycles. So we did it on the full moon on Monday. And then on the 29th, we're going to have a new moon. That new moon will be in Leo, I think. No, new moon in Aquarius. Sorry, mixing myself up. So I'm going to, from 3 to 5 Pacific time, I'm going to do free readings for y'all. You get to put a question in the chat, and we'll just knock it out. It'll be really fun. Was it fun? I really enjoyed myself, too. Hey, CC Pups, and good morning, Pixie Sacred Journey. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the transits this morning. Saturn is conjunct Venus in Pisces, exact. They're at 16 degrees. Sorry, I had this thing in my mouth. If I sound a little funny, I'll get used to it. Mercury is sextiling Saturn and Venus. When Saturn and Venus become conjunct in Pisces, there's a lot of feeling of slowing things down, that potentially flow is not really happening. Venus rules our money. She rules our creativity. Saturn rules limitation, restriction. Sextiling Mercury tells me that it's a good time to really think about what I'm thinking. What am I focusing in on? What is my self-talk? What is my unconscious? I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm broke. I'm unlucky. I never win in love. We have these sayings that we do all the time. So when we pay attention to this, because Mercury in Capricorn is sort of playing back to Saturn's energy. Saturn rules Capricorn. So I think that the next couple of days is really sort of a surrender to whatever is slowing down, because the slowing down is in some ways an opportunity to reflect, to be more intentional, and to rest. And even though Saturn's not retrograde, this isn't about a retrograde, it's about Saturn's limiting energy, about Saturn being more repressive. And I think also that might be reflective because tomorrow is the inauguration for the new president. Whenever there's a change of power, there's always a fluctuation in money, in the stock markets, etc. So don't worry about that. We also have the North Node and the South Node have just entered the Pisces Virgo axis. Right now, the North Node is conjunct Neptune. And this, to me, is really an opportunity to be very intentional and very committed and passionate about my connection to spirit. It could also make you want to drink your face off or whatever your escapism is. You could want to eat, you could want to drink, you could want to make merry. I personally have taken January off of drinking and I'm enjoying it so much. November and December, I feel like I was a little heavy-handed, not so much in my drinking, but in my consistency of it. and I decided to stop drinking in January, and I really literally feel so much clearer and better. And I've been more connected and committed to my meditations, to my prayers in the evening. I think this is really key at this time because there's so many other things fluctuating in the background. The sun will move into Aquarius. It's already conjunct Pluto. This is a opportunity for us. Now, we all don't have our sun in Aquarius or in Capricorn, but whenever the sun comes conjunct Pluto, there's something about the ego that is being highlighted and how we feel about, how we express ourselves out into the world. And frankly, in this day and age where there are so many conveniences, I mean, we don't even have to go to the market for ourselves anymore. It becomes more and more obvious and more prevalent that we are banging around our emotional bodies, which involve our ego, our sense of self. That's also Saturn and Venus's conjunction. We could feel like we feel a little restricted within our partnerships, our beauty, our sense of flow, our sense of luxury, or our sense of comfort. So there's a lot of kind of a tightening in this week. Also, we have Jupiter stationing and we have Uranus stationing. Uranus is staying at 23 degrees, either retrograde or direct, since December 14th all the way through till March, mid-March. This is huge. Now, at the same time, we have Jupiter starts stationing at 11 degrees of Gemini, and it will remain at 11 degrees until February 25th, 2025. Now, while these two are not in a conversation per se, the fact that they're sitting like in the sky like this, okay, what are we going to do? Are we just going to sit here and wait for something to happen, or are we going to allow ourselves to expand? Are we going to take the bull by the horns? Uranus, if you ask me, in Taurus is taking the bull by the horns and saying, what am I going to do to create my own flow, use my own resources, use my own skills, my own talents? And this is a time, I think, when these two planets, Lada will say that, one of my teachers will say that when a planet stations, it's 5 times more powerful than it is when it's in motion. So Jupiter offering expansion, beliefs, also business and commerce. And if there's any legal things going on in your life, those things could start to illuminate or start to become very prevalent in their potential lack of movement up until now. So I think that that's something to pay attention to. Yeah, that's it. So let's move on to our readings. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Cece Pups. Hi, Jenny. Good to see you. Hi, Catherine. Good morning, Small Wildflowers. Good to see you. Hope y'all had a good week. All right, Capricorn, it's all about you. Let's see where we're going. Whoa. All righty. As I'm shuffling, I can't help but want to say, good morning, Prima Donna and Mystery School Astrology. Nice to see you. Welcome to the room. I want to say this, this next few months, we're going to see Venus move into Aries. Then we're going to see Venus retrograde back into Pisces. We're going to see Mercury move into Aries and then retrograde back into Pisces. There's going to be a huge stellium in Pisces coming February, March, April, and even maybe a tad into May. I'd have to look. But I think this is really important to pay attention to because it feels very polarizing to me. And again, for those of you that just entered the room, I have a night guard in. My mouth is, my teeth are moving, so I need to leave it in a little bit longer than normal. So instead of a Invisalign, this is what the doctor said. Anyway, my point is this. This is a polarizing time. With the North Node in Pisces, there could be this ravenous wanting to escape the darkness of the world, what I hate about the world, what I hate about my life, where I feel invisible, where I feel like things are never going to move. The dark side of Pisces is just to be defeated and give up and like just say, forget it. The other side of Pisces is to tap into your connection with spirit, to start to make a regular and consistent, disciplined connection with your guides. This is not about having to meditate. You could be walking down the street, parking your car, driving in traffic. As long as you're aware and you're having a conversation, they will engage with you and they will start to align with your intentions. They're not picking. The reason I say this is because as we become more and more aware of this stellium, we can take advantage of the higher vibrations of it. Because some of us who aren't paying attention will want to just throw in the towel. All right. And that's kind of like the challenge of Saturn in Pisces, because Saturn is saying if you continue without any eyesight, without any of your five senses to depend upon to see that you're on the right track, but you feel it within your heart, within your soul, Saturn will reward you. And the more you play to the higher vibrations of the planets, and this is the thing, the planets are not outside of yourself. They are representing archetypes within yourself, character traits and behaviors and ways of thinking. So as we incarnate with an influence on like a planet, say you're Capricorn rising, like we're on right now, your Saturn ruled. Somewhere your soul is seeking and discipline and endurance in your connection to what you are building in the material world. So it's an integration. All right. Just call me C. Welcome to the room. All right. Our first tarot card for our Capricorn risings for this week is the Nine of Swords. This would play to that Saturn Venus conjunction. We have the King of Swords in the opportunity or the obstacle. We have the Nine of Cups in the Angel's advice, and then we have the King of Cups. Okay, Capricorn, you've been going through a long transition as Pluto's moved through your first house. Now Pluto is in your second house of your skills, of your money, of your self-worth. It is giving you an opportunity really to look at what it is, because worry isn't actually a Capricorn energy, but fear is. And worry is a byproduct of fear. So here you have an opportunity to really decide, am I looking at everything or am I caught up in my head? With the Venus-Saturn conjunction, making a sextile to Mercury in Capricorn, this could bring up a lot of thoughts about resources and money and history and how it is played out, because this is about taking charge of moving into your future. This is about, the eagle here is literally it is on a mission, and so is this character. And to me, this is very Aquarian, and this is looking to the future. This is looking into your second house and knowing that your wishes will be fulfilled. But part of it is you continuing to connect with spirit in a very, the kings of the tarot are the air element combined with whatever suit they represent. So here we see the king of air in air, grabbing on, using his bow and arrow as a way of focusing. But the focus comes from his connection to spirit as represented by the eagle. Then we see this king who's representing the emotional, the spiritual aspect and calling forth your guides and your angels to work with you. When you are in fear, the best thing you can do is ask spirit for a sign that you're on the right track and then pay attention. So now as I shuffle and I move on to Aquarius, sorry, my buttons are banging on the table. So this is the thing. This is going to be Monday. This could be Wednesday, the 29th. I will be doing the 3 to 6 Last Monday we did the other. But anyway, okay, so this is what I want to say as things just escaped right out of my brain. Holy crap, what was I going to say? I got distracted. Hi, Queen Leo. Okay. And I was going to say something and it just jettisoned out of my brain. Yeah, that way the East Coast at least can be off work, potentially. No worries. And it's going to be on the new moon in, where are we? Aquarius. I'm bugged by, I was just about to say something and it was, I thought it was kind of important and now I can't remember what it was. So my brain. Okay. It'll come back to me if I meant to say it. Okay. Aquarius, rising, moon, sun, and stelliums. And whoever said the house looks nice, thank you so much. I had the day off yesterday, and I spent the day making bone broth and banana bread and nesting. It was kind of fun. You know, this is what I want to say. When Venus and Saturn are conjunct, it's not a pushy time. It's not a time to try to push through. It's a time to sort of back off a little bit and review and kind of look at these two as summit and like summiting and having a strategy meeting about moving the story forward. Oh, I know. Well, anyway, okay, here we go. Now we're going on Aquarius. Jeez, bugs me when I hate when my brain does that. I've even been taking my mushrooms, the good kind, not the psychedelic kind. Okay. Aquarius, 4 of Wands in the foundational position. Then we have the Judgment card in the opportunity or the obstacle. We have the 8 of Swords in the Angel's advice. And then we have the 10 of Wands in the final position. Okay, so we know that Pluto is transiting through your first house. That's not, this is the thing. Pluto isn't really not your enemy. But what Pluto will do is it will find the darkest part of your brain and it will illuminate it. It will make you feel as if this part of your psychology, the fear, the other people's control, sometimes when we're in fear, we'll literally defend our fear. We'll be like, don't you see? Don't you see? This is how it is. And Spirit is sort of asking you not to do that this week because you do rule anxiety. You do rule the nervous system. You have Pluto going through your first house. Pluto is making aspects to potentially your personal planets, but also to Neptune a little bit and to Uranus a wee bit. They're not quite in a tight orb, but they're all having a conversation. This is a card of celebration. And while this may be, when I look at it this way, there's something about this that makes me feel as if it's a focus card. Like, what are you looking at? Because I think that there's this Judgment card and this 8 of Swords. This is where this character is literally bound by her own thoughts, her own fears, her own trepidations. She's actually part of the issue because all she can see is the divots, the holes, the parts that haven't worked in the past. And Spirit is saying to Aquarius, don't make it hard on yourself this week. This 10 of Wands is where you're working hard, not smart. So if we look at this guy here, he's literally he's going through his field with one wand at a time when there's all these wands behind him and there's nothing in his basket. So this is sort of indicating that for Aquarius this week, let me think for a second. Mars is in Leo. That's probably what this is about. When I look at this with Mars in Leo, Mars has gone into Cancer, which is your 6th house. There is the potential, because something's coming up about your creativity, about how you're showing up when I look at this spread. And I think you're fearing judgment more than there is judgment. And because of that, it could be giving you anxiety. I need to pull one more card on this one. Let me look. I got the Page of Swords. I'm going to say this is an interesting thing. The Page of Swords can be a little bit challenging because he can indicate little spatty words. People who are not actually arguing with each other, but they're sort of snarky at one another. If for some reason, my Aquarius, you've been having a great week, and for some reason someone this coming week comes in and starts to give you a little bit of nonsense, this is an opportunity for you not to fall back into old patterns. There's a weird feeling of revisiting something. And I want to say this too. If you know, I always say this, if you know there are people that rub up your grill, rub up you, and you don't like them, then don't pick up the phone. Don't answer the text until you're ready and you're in the right vibration. The Aquarian energy right now feels a little bit like I'm focused in on more challenges than I am on any ease. And that could be a little bit of a misinformed or unfair assessment. I don't know why I want to say it that way, but I'm going to say it that way. Oh, yep. I think that, be careful of spiky energy this week, you know. Again, Venus is in conjunct Saturn, so I could not feel any love. I could not feel any caring. I could feel a lot of duty to my partner and not being seen. Then we have Mars in Cancer, which is a challenge all the way around. And then we have, you know, outside influences. Obviously, people are still being affected by the fires. There's still stuff going on, even though it's not the primary news. The inauguration is taken over, but just be mindful. All right, here we go. On to our Pisces, rising moon, sun, and stelliums. You're going to have that. You're going to have that stellium in your first house, and I'm telling you, this is I think, a super great opportunity. Even with 2 planets retrograde, Venus and Mercury, I still feel like taking advantage and preparing for this time. It very much feels like a preparation time. Okay, Pisces. We have the 8 of Wands. Something's coming. Some news is coming. Then we have the Page of Swords, even more so, Messenger. The Hierophant in the Angel's Advice. And then we have the Justice card. Oh, so this feels good. So for my Pisces, I would have to say that something is coming to a completion. There's news, information, you're going to get some sort of awareness of, here is this, the 8 of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite deck is a news, information, a conclusion of some kind. When I look at it in this, it feels as if emotions are flowing. Okay, they're flowing through my home. They're flowing through my creativity. They're flowing through my inspired ideas. Here's where the Messenger comes in. The Page of Swords is coming in, and he's about to take aim at something, and it may have something to do with money. There's the Hierophant. There's this Taurus and Venus energy. That makes me feel very, very much like that conjunction in your first house is bringing some awareness. And now here's the Justice card. This feels really good. So somewhere something's going to come back into balance. So if it's been out of balance, then give yourself a little wiggle room, because a new idea may be coming in, or some new information, or something that you had beyond your awareness. With the Hierophant and the Justice card being the 3rd and 4th card, these cards have more weight and more influence. So, yeah, I think you're going to find that for some reason, I feel like if something's been going on at work, again, I don't know why I'm focused on people's work right now, but for my Pisces, if you've been having some challenges, you may really be feeling also the nodal shift, because Virgo, being your 7th house, is also a house of professional partnerships. So if there's been a wobble there, then I think news is going to come this week, or you'll get information of some kind that should bring things back into balance. Okay, on to our Aries, rising moon, sun, and stelliums. Exactly. That's exactly why I'm doing it later. Small wildflowers. So the East Coast can be off work. And I don't know, I can't maybe the other time zones will be able to find. Okay, here we go. Aries, rising, moon, sun, and stelliums. So y'all hear that TikTok got banned and they took it off? There's you cannot get on TikTok anywhere in the United States anymore. I think this is pretty crazy. Oh, you're welcome, Stephen. It was fun. It was a really fun little session. Yeah, we're going to do it again. I thought it was super fun. And I got to, what's VPN? Virtual something network? Virtual, I don't know. I just think it's so weird that a country that was built on freedom of speech is now cutting off an avenue of speech. So many people make money at TikTok too. It makes me feel sorry for them. I'm sure they'll still make some money, but that's a big chunk. All right, Aries, here we go. I think we did a good shuffle there. We have in the foundational position the Page of Swords. All right, apparently first 4 signs are getting information this week. There's the 9 of Swords. There's the 5 of Swords. And the Knight of Cups. Woo. Well, this was going to be a little interesting. The Page of Swords is always a message, always the beginning, something. It can be an idea, but it could be also something taking aim. And I want to offer that because when we look at this, I really think that this is worry about other people's reaction in some way or another. The 9 of Swords is always where there's focus, but there's not actually a focus on worry, but there's not actually a threat of some kind. Now we have this where I win and I lose, where there's contempt, there's an argument of some kind, or there's a disagreement, or there's a misalignment, but the characters don't come back into play. Now, I think that's interesting. I mean, they don't come back into play together. What's interesting about both of these cards as well is that neither one is pointing their arrow. Both are poised on some level. So there could be where our Aries has, in some way, you've made a move. It could be a move that's in a situation that is a challenge with another human, or it could be a dynamic of some kind, something where you're taking some sort of step and you're not sure at this moment how it's going to play out. Because here it looks like you're going to make another move. Something's going to happen. I need to look again. Hold on. Well, whatever it is, you're going to win, because there's the reward card. And I want you to think of that. It's the World card is Saturn. Saturn, where the Fool has been through the whole major arcana, understands on a much more intuitive and physical level the limitations and restrictions within the human dynamic, and now has learned how to work within them and can enjoy the reward of it. That's what I want to say. This will be interesting to see as I am a Aries rising. All right. Good morning, Pauline. Hi, posted up. I said hi to Just Call Me C. Hi, Gita. Okay. Let's go on to our Taurus's rising moon, sun, and stelliums. Oyster dinner. Ooh. All right. Here we go. Taurus rising moon, sun, and stelliums. Shuffled. All right, I think we got it. I don't know about oysters, actually. Maybe clams. I could do clams. I like fried clams, but I think I really like the tartar sauce that I dip them in. Okay, Taurus. In the foundational position, we have the 7 of Wands. Then in the opportunity, the obstacle, the Two of Pentacles. Then we have the Page of Wands and the Angel's Advice. And finally, the Six of Swords. Okay. We know Uranus is in your first house. It has been since 2017, and it's finishing up its last degrees. It has Uranus stationed until March at 23 degrees. This to me, in this deck, is bridging something. I'm bridging an emotional, I've come to some kind of emotional reconciliation. The water is very smooth, and yet the bridge to get there is still a bit precarious. I'm still figuring out my balance. Here we have the flow of money. Okay. This is so if indeed the Saturn, you're ruled by Venus. Venus is conjunct Saturn. Your thoughts could very well be about money. Where's money coming from? Where are my resources coming from? Where are the jobs coming from? Where are the clients coming from? Where blah, blah, blah. But Spirit is saying you have inspired ideas. There is the potential of inspirations coming in. And this is about standing in an energy to receive those inspirations, because something is moving into smoother waters and will bring a sense of satisfaction. Even when I look at this character, this guy, he seems a little bit, honestly, he's got a bit of a smirk on his face. Like, you didn't think I was going to win, but I won. Or you didn't think I was going to accomplish it, but I did. And I think it has to do with this emotional bridge. Somewhere you're probably coming to some sort of understanding or reconciliation. And I want to offer this, because if indeed part of your journey has been to exercise your talents and your skills, but they haven't shown any flow yet, or they haven't shown the flow that you're looking for, I feel like this would be when you're on the precipice of potentially having that shift come in or having that flow come in. And the flow could be more and more inspired ideas, more and more listening to your inner voice that guides you into like, oh, I'm going to buy that lottery ticket, or, oh, I'm going to make that phone call to so-and-so. Okay. When I say the phone call to so-and-so, it's like, sometimes we get inspired to reach out to people, and because we reach out to them, they're like, oh, I was just thinking about you and blah, blah, blah. And then it brings in something. For some reason, I'm focused on money this week. I don't know why. All right, here we go. On to our Gemini, rising moon, sun, and stelliums. You guys remember Oysters Rockefeller? That was something that was quite stylish back in the day. All right, here we go. Oh, just call me. Congratulations. I won $100 and I didn't even know it. I thought I won $10. And then it was one of those scratchers that you have, it gives you the multiples, and it was 10 times 10. So it's like, oh, that was good. I didn't even know it. Okay. Gemini, in the foundational position, we have the Two of Cups. Ooh. Then we have the King of Swords. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles. And the Six of Swords, again, very interesting. Okay, Two of Cups. Now, this is an interesting energy here in this deck, because it's about two things, not just man and woman, male and female, but it's about more than that, coming together to complement. They bring something that the other does not have. And in that, there is something that makes that sunshine. So this is really kind of a fun thing. Now, I want to offer this because I don't know that this is always in relationships between a man and a woman. Okay. We see Venus representing females and friends and Saturn together in Pisces. Venus is exalted. I didn't even mention that in Pisces. So she's very strong in her conversation with Saturn, because this could indicate that somewhere for my Geminis, you do rule the twos, that you are coming together with something. Maybe it's even two sides of yourself, because we have this King of Swords again. This is the ultimate air energy. It's really very Aquarian. It's very much almost to a point of coldness. There's a sense of logic here. There's a sense of looking to the future. And then the angels are saying something's coming, something's being actually manifested. This is a money card, the beginning of money, and money moving you into a smoother place and feeling a sense of satisfaction. So you could be coming together, meeting of the minds. Let me see who that Two of Cups is, because I don't think that the Two of Cups is a relationship card for some reason. It feels like it's something else. It's a money-making card. There's our 8. Our 8 of Pentacles is literally making money. So somewhere I think that this is a potential of setting up something for my Geminis. Jupiter is in your first house. Jupiter rules money and wealth and expansion. I know Jupiter is in detriment, but at the same time, Jupiter has an opportunity to learn things he's never learned before, which is taking time in the valley with the people in everyday life. So I think that Spirit is going to offer you some sort of inspired idea, and you might have to be slightly brave in order to claim that. Okay, onward and upward, darlings. I watched, I never saw the trailer for it. Has anybody seen Traitor? Apparently it's on season 3. I'd never seen it, but I saw something. I don't know how it came up on my feed. I swear I look at something and then I'm stalked by it a moment later. But in any case, I watched, I got myself a Hulu or a Peacock or some account, and I started watching it. It's a really fun show if you guys like reality murder mystery shows. Okay, we're on to our Cancers. Rising, moon, sun, and stelliums. I think I just enjoy scratch-offs. I just enjoy the process. It's no fun to buy a lottery ticket to win the billions. You just stick your money in and then you get the ticket, I don't know why I like the scratch-off process. Okay, Cancer, here we go. We have the Tower. We have the 7 of Cups. We have the Lovers. Ooh. It's a fun show. Yes, I love it. I really did. I can't wait to binge watch tonight. Okay. And the Queen of Swords. Okay, Cancer, this is very interesting because a choice is coming up for you out of nowhere. This Tower card for me is very Uranian. I know other tarot card people, and in the books, they all talk about the Tower being Mars. I don't see it a bit. I see the adventure of Mars being the Fool, and I see the knocking off the kingdom in the Tower, meaning the crown off the castle in the Tower as Uranus. The rebellion, the liberation, the unexpected. That's what Uranus does. So something is coming out of nowhere for you. Now, interestingly enough, this feels like you've been singing a song of the heart, but you haven't known which direction to go into. And here we have the Lovers in the Angel's advice. This is choice. Now, Spirit is saying to make the choice that is most authentic to your heart. Now, I know we're looking at an air sign here, but this represents Libra. This is where we see the King of Swords represent Aquarius. We are seeing the Queen, and she is going to the beat of her own drum. You are going to get an opportunity, Cancer, for something. And I think you're going to be nervous about it for some reason. It feels as if you're taking or you're going to get an opportunity, or you're going to hear about an opportunity where something is like you're going to have to bet on yourself or bet on something you want from your heart. The Lover's card obviously looks like a relationship, but it's a choice card, and it's also the Gemini card, meaning it rules the sign of Gemini. So I think there's a choice coming. And I think that that's important because the choices that we make are literally our karma. We don't think so. We think the events around us are our karma, but it isn't. It's our choices that we make around and within the events. So let me just do one more card on this. Oh, this is what I want to say for my Cancers. If you choose what you want from your heart, your wish will come true. Your wish will come true. That's wish fulfillment, the 9 of Cups. Great satisfaction, yummy, yummy. So it's really a polarizing time, and not just because of the events in the outside world, but for humanity. And as we become more aware that our thoughts are things, we're going to start to see a divide between people who are kind of rooted into this more Capricorn historic experience and those of us that are wanting to move into a more Uranian Aquarian experience. And that's what Pluto is bringing forth in Aquarius. Okay, we're going to have a lickety split here this week. I think we're going to go quick. All right, here we go. We are on to our Leo's rising moon, sun, and stelliums. Give it a good shuffle. And as I'm shuffling, I'm just going to remind you all that there are yearly videos for each one of you by your rising sign going through the whole year, month by month. I did chapters. Check out your January for details there. There's a January monthly. And check out your January love and money. All right, Leo, here we go. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the 9 of Swords, very interesting, and the 9 of Wands. I say interesting because the 9 of Swords and the Knight of Cups have come out together a couple of times here. So pages are always messengers of some kind. This is messages of inspiration, of action, of passion. Now here, Leo, will you make the move or will you worry? Will you sit and worry? And because this is in the angel's advice. Worry is a prayer that doesn't serve you. It doesn't let you see the possibilities. And then here is this character looking straight into the camera, willing to make a move, willing to let some things fall over. Because now we have this 9 of Wands. We have 2 9s. 9s are the completion of something. Pages offer new ideas. Knights are brave. The knights of the deck are the heroes of the deck. They're also the teenagers of the deck, but they are at that prime. They're at that chapter in life when their bodies are the most able to show their strength for men and women. So for my Leos, there is inspiration coming. There is an opportunity for you to make a move. But I think if you make the move based on worry or even protecting yourself to the point of fear. Let me pull one more on this. I got to look at it. Good morning, Jules. Oh, okay. This is protection card, and there's my family. Okay. The 10 of Cups. I want to offer it this way. Connecting with spirit, using your literally your intention, using your voice this week to say, thank you, Spirit, for bringing me all the resources that I need. Thank you, Spirit, for me trusting my heart and having the courage. That's the big thing about Leo. You have to have the courage to express yourself, right? And here, I think that if you express yourself, it actually works out well. And this time, it's not because you roared. It's because you're coming in with a more gentle approach of some kind, hopefully. This is nice. You see how the coaster just stays attached. Okay. I also want to say this for my Leos. When I look at the spread, if you try too hard to protect yourself from something you're worried about, you're going to miss something this week. That's what I think is happening with this 10 of Cups. Is a very, very happy, loving, connected card. So I think it's about taking a risk, trusting that risk, and being aware of your vibration when you take the risk. Because if you're too much in a wobble, then the risk is not taking the risk. Well, they're not my affirmations, they'll be your affirmations. And when you write them down, they'll become very powerful because the intention of writing. I spent my whole, probably half of my 30s and most of my 40s saying affirmations I wasn't sure I believed, but eventually they stuck. Yeah, the fires are just crazy. It's getting even more ridiculous, the kind of stuff that's going on, and how quickly it appears that things, like, I hate to say it like this, and maybe this is my focus, but it felt like last week it was like literally everything was about the fires, and this week nothing is. And it's really weird because those people, somebody's house didn't burn down, but because of all the ground around it and what happened, their house broke in half. It's I almost feel like the universe is putting us in another timeout, to think about what we want, to be very intentional about it. All right, let's go into our Virgos, rising moon, sun, and stelliums. You're going to have the South Node going through your first house. Now, this is a time when self-criticism gets to sit in a new place, because you're going to be tasked in many ways to reevaluate how you operate mentally. How much pressure are you putting on yourself? How much stress is self-induced because of that perfectionism, or that I'm not good enough if I don't perform? I really want to emphasize that Virgo is the virgin. It is the receptive feminine energy, and that is the gift of the service that Virgo has to offer. And that South Node is going to really task you on some level to let that earthly judgment and structure be rewritten as you stretch into that Piscean energy. It's very, very powerful. All right. We have the Four of Pentacles in the foundational position. We have the Six of Wands in the opportunity or the obstacle. We have the Queen of Wands in the Angel's advice. And then we have the Lovers. Oh, this is lovely. But it's about choice. It's not about love. Here is money and resources. Here is the earth plane. And here is where Virgo, this makes perfect sense, because here you are looking at what you have, looking at your resources, planning a way based on what is here. But what you don't consider sometimes is the possibility of your expansion through new ideas. Here is victory, and not just victory in your mind, but victory in the material world. Yes, this is a wand card, but look at all the animals within. This isn't people now. This is earth. This is an earthly energy. To me, this is where you're starting to connect to a primal part of yourself, your passions, your what gets you going. We see a lot of bull energy here, and yet she commands the bulls with ease. Those bulls to me are Venusian. They are saying that you have talents and skills beyond, and now is to make a choice. I don't think that this is about love. It doesn't feel like it's about love. It feels like it's about creativity. It feels like it's about passion. It feels like it's about turning things from work into creativity or a career. Some of us have a job, and then some of us have a career. And I think when you use the word career, there's a passion attached to it. So I think on some level that this week Spirit is offering you an opportunity, as your ruling planet is going through Capricorn and you have an awareness of your earthly restrictions. This also gives you an opportunity to open them up. Oh, thank you. Just call me C. I want to offer this because I absolutely think that if we can suspend timing of things, if we could think of ourselves sort of as planets, and when we go into manifestation, we sort of retrograde a little bit and we review what we want, and then we sort of station, right, as we start to calibrate to the new idea. I want to win the lottery, and I don't want to win a little bit. I want to win enough, a lot. That recalibration is like a stationing planet. And then as we move forward, we give ourselves the ramping up time. So I think that's a lot of what's going on when we start to manifest. And then when we see ourselves win $52 here, or we win, the job here, or we get the accolades over here, that's the beginning of the momentum that we get to build on. Okay. On to our Libras, rising moon, sun, and stelliums. I say Libra, we have 17 people in the room. We have 17 likes, and I'm born on the 17th. Oh, 18. All right, here we go. Libra, rising moon, sun, and stelliums. All right, here we go. Ooh, in the foundational position is the Ace of Cups. In the opportunity, the obstacle is the Hierophant. In the Angel's advice is the Knight of Pentacles. And the final position is the Nine of Pentacles. This is lovely. Aces are always the infusion of energy, and this is the infusion of love and of resources, comfort, bounty, the Venusian things, comfort and good food and feeling connected. That is further evidenced by the Hierophant in the opportunity, obstacle. And now, Libra, hold fast to what is sacred to you. That's what the bull and this man are doing. They're connecting. And be sure to trust the map that where you're being led. Something is coming into the physical world for you, Libra, and it feels bountiful. It feels good because look, there's more money coming. So I want to offer it this way. The Nine of Pentacles is a self-made person who sort of understands the ebb and the flow, and then starts to play with her resources. So when things feel low, she looks up. See all the birds? I don't know if you can see them. This is really good. There's more flow is coming, more resources are coming, more what feels like abundance is coming. There is a little bit of I think a caveat would be to be sacred to following that which your heart knows. Again, that bull is very Taurian Venusian to me, and following your guidance. This is in the angel's advice. Now, the angel's guidance will not feel like a roadmap. It will feel like a yearning. And so as you follow it, you will experience abundance. I hope that applies to me, but I'm a Libra sun, and I never think that Libra actually applies to me. I always think Taurus applies to me, and Aries, because I'm a Aries rising and a Taurus moon. All right, on to our Scorpios. We are just booking it today. Look at us. This is what happens when I'm well rested. We are onto Scorpio, rising moon, sun, and stelliums. I know. I'm really feeling very good. It's very surprising to me because I don't really drink that much. I mean, I may drink in consecutive days, but usually I just have like a glass or two, and you would think it doesn't really affect you, but it's been very surprising. Maybe it's because I'm old now. I mean, literally, I'm old. You guys have been watching me grow old. As one side of my face droops and the other one Stays the same. Lucky got a bath yesterday too. He's growing old really well, thanks to my friend in Virginia who gave me all these great supplements for him. All right, Scorpio, are you ready? Ooh. Hey, post it up. 10 of Wands in the foundational position, the Knight of Swords in the opportunity or obstacle, the 6 of Wands in the Angel's advice, and the 7 of Wands. Okay. This is a little bit challenging because the 10 of Wands is always, kind of an arduous energy where I'm doing things, feels a little bit hard. And when we think about Scorpio, Scorpio to me is so emotionally intense and in a way that is super passionate and slightly scary, right? Because when you're in a good mood, you're like the most charming, lovely, fun thing to hang around. And then when you're not in a good mood and you're pissed off, you're a little scary. I don't mind saying, but this is what I want to offer you, because having this awareness, right? Like I kind of almost feel like, this is going to sound funny, but as we get to know ourselves on a spiritual level, it doesn't mean we change suddenly who we are. Scorpio is always going to have a bit of brooding, a bit of intensity. I'm a Scorpio. I have a Mercury in Scorpio. A good friend of mine, her mother passed away. I've been trying to be, all, normal person. I'm so sorry for your loss, but I don't believe people die. And I said to her, I'm sorry that I don't sound really compassionate or very empathetic right now. I go, I am on an interior level, but there's another part of me that knows that your mother's not really dead. And she said to me, thank God. She said, I know what you do for a living, Teri, so I don't take it personally. I feel like this is what I want to say to Scorpio. You know who you are. And as you recognize that, your victory comes when you step away from the people that piss you off, like go right away from them. There's the victory until you're ready to step back into the fray, because somewhere there's an emotional bridge coming. Somewhere, and this is what I want to offer at you, knowing who and what you are. And I say that the reason I bring up my Mercury in Scorpio is because I communicate like a scorpion. That's what Mercury means. It's partially why I can talk to the dead, but it's also why I can be very blunt, bold, intense, and passionate when I'm fired up. So instead of thinking of yourself or being hard on yourself, like the 10 of Wands might indicate, now is an opportunity to see, I don't need to get along with everybody. I just need to be authentic to me and communicate in the way that makes me feel good. And that's where the victory comes. So that's where you either choose to use your arrows or you choose not to. And that, hence, we have the emotional bridge, meaning you're comfortable with how you're showing up. That's what this feels like to me. It feels like an awareness. That's the most anybody can really ask for. Let me pull one more on this 10. Oh, yeah, that 3 of Swords. Okay, somewhere you're coming to some sort of reconciliation about something where you've been disappointed, where you think that you've been doing, or you feel from your perception that you have been doing what has been required. And if indeed for some reason the situation, whether it be a job, a relationship, even a friendship, or a familial relationship, a family relationship, if indeed somebody's not acknowledging your hard work, I think it's just move out of the way for a moment, recalibrate. Don't try to go in and prove it, because you'll just find yourself frustrated. Those planets that are hovering around in Pisces, they're very polarizing, and as they're having the North Node right now, Saturn and Neptune, they're all hanging out. Then we're going to see Venus coming in. Oh, Venus is already there. Sorry, Venus is conjunct Saturn. She's going to move into Aries and she's going to come out. Then Mercury's going to come in and move into Aries and then go back into Pisces. This whole period of time is just going to feel very, it's either going to feel super like, oh my God, I totally tapping into my creativity and my spirituality, and I feel a sense of flow, or it's going to feel just the opposite. It's going to feel like nobody sees me, nobody respects me, nobody's acknowledging me. And I feel like this is Scorpio's opportunity to be like, wait a minute, Let me acknowledge me first, and then let me pay attention to the people who historically don't acknowledge me because they don't appreciate my power. They don't appreciate how I show up. They don't understand it. So they try to dumb it down. That's why Scorpio gets so big sometimes, is because people try to control them from the dark truth that they know. I hope that made sense. Here we go, on to our Sagittarius. And that's it. Oh my God, we would have done this in an hour today. Well, look what happens when I'm all gassed up with natural energy. All right, so mark your calendars for the 29th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 3 to 5. We're going to do another live readings for y'all, focused on you guys. It's going to be fun. I had a really good time the other day. I don't know why it's different than doing them on Sundays. I think it's because we're addressing people directly. Pluto in a Libra is generational. And a lot of people who have Pluto in Libra are here to create peace and harmony for themselves within their cooperation with others. It's not just about marriages. It's not just about two people coming together to build a life. It's about something deeper. Balance. And if Pluto is near 2 degrees of Libra, then it's about you seeing yourself as source energy as well. Very powerful. All right, here we go. Our Sagittarius is rising moon, sun, and stellium. I didn't miss anybody. We went so fast, I feel like I missed something. Did I miss anybody? I started on Capricorn, right? Yeah. Okay. If your Mercury is in Leo, and also check the transit at Mars, because Mars coming up on your Mercury could potentially create arguments with your siblings or within your community, or because when Mars is retrograde, well, Mars is in Cancer. Sorry, I keep forgetting. I've been in too many time zones lately. I got to stop. Yay. All right. It was fun, wasn't it, Catherine? I really enjoyed it. I don't know why it was so much fun, but it was. I can't figure out anything lately. Okay. All right, Sag. In the foundational position is the Ace of Pentacles. This is literally something growing in the material world. Then we have the Queen of Cups. That's beautiful. And the opportunity of the obstacle. We have the Star. And then we have the Hanged Man. Okay. So this is an opportunity for faith. This is an opportunity. I have, for some reason, if you are of childbearing years, which most of my audience, I don't think they are, but if you are of childbearing years, please be faithful, because you're going to get pregnant. I'm just going to put it that way, but it probably is going to be a little ways off. And I say that because I think a lot of kids are going to want to be born or conceived with an opportunity for Jupiter to be in Cancer, because it's exalted there, and that's super expansive within the home. But here, something is growing in the material world. This is a card of manifestation, and it's just starting to sprout. Here's trusting all the things. This is a Cancerian energy. This is, the combination of water with water. It's trusting my intuitiveness. Here is the Star, trusting, having faith. That's what the Star is. And yes, the Hanged Man is a pause. Something is up for looking at it differently, looking at it from a new perspective. Most humans don't do astrology. They think that, I want to have a baby, and I'm just going to start having sex and have a baby. But the soul that's going to be their baby is like, I don't want to come in with Pluto conjunct, Saturn, or whatever some of these harder transits have been the last few years. Maybe they didn't want to come in when Pluto was in Capricorn. They wanted to come in the revolution of Pluto in Aquarius, so that by the time they're 20 years old, they're young adults. This whole revolution and change has taken place. So whatever you're trying to manifest, Sagittarius, whether it be a little human being or a business or a passion of some kind, there's an opportunity for it to come into the physical, and yet there's going to be a rewrite of some kind due to some sort of reflection, and that could be Neptune's conjunct the North Node. There may be something. Let me do a little something on the Hanged Man real quick. Oh, there's going to be a change of some kind. There's a 2.0 version of whatever you're manifesting, because there's an inspiration coming that's going to lead you to a higher level. So let me offer this. A few weeks ago, Small Wildflowers and I were chatting via text, and she gave me all these great ideas for building the YouTube channel. And one of them was doing live readings for you all when you get to ask questions. And I took her suggestion. This is Sagittarius. And it was a very successful event, I thought. And we're going to do it again. So there could be things coming up, inspirations, ideas, new things that come into your awareness that make you understand the timing of things is truly divine. Hey, it's no, aw shucks, girl, you got some good ideas. And I just need to have the energy to implement them all. I kind of lost my little helper with the thumbnails. Not that I lost her, but I don't think she's really into it as much. So we'll see what happens. I think she's going to, so the Instagram account's not getting worked at all because I just don't have time to do everything. And frankly, I just want to focus on you all here on YouTube. So that's what I'm doing. And I appreciate you all. I put out some shorts. I'm getting used to doing those. These weren't the best ones, but trial and error. All right, that's it for this week. It was a lickety split as far as I'm concerned. Kind of excited about that. I'm going to get to have a little lunch before my afternoon appointments. So thank you all for being here. I will be back next Sunday, live at 11. And I hope you'll all join me. Thank you, Small Wildflowers. Couldn't do this without you. Peace out, everybody. See you later. Have a great week.